Alright, welcome back to the tutorials. So in the previous tutorial we started setting up some collision detection between our enemy NPC in the current room number 2 of Basic Kingdom Room. So let's get in there and let's see what's going on. Alright. So you'll note we can't walk through him now, which is good. And you'll see, if you noted, you might have noticed up here that our health bar sort of went down. But that was really just for show. The health bar is not actually tied to Bob's health. That's what we want to do today, is we want to start tying that health bar to Bob's actual health. And in order to do that, we do have to modify a couple of key things here. So let's go ahead and do that. We need to bring up some important external events. So let's do that as well. We're going to take from health management. I'm going to move it up here just so we can see it. We need our health bar manager. And we're also going to need our goon battle external event. Alright, since we have the goon battle event open, let's go ahead and get rid of this health bar width thing. We don't really need that anymore. We're going to take care of that. Let's go to our load game here, and let's go to Bob's stats. Now we've got this one variable here for Bob's health, okay, but we're going to break this off actually, or break it up into two different things. We need to keep track of Bob's max health, right? That's the maximum amount of HPs that Bob can have. And the nice thing about this, of course, is you can scale it with the game. You know, if Bob gains, I don't know, 50 health points every level, right? You can just keep assigning a new value to max health. So let's copy this and let's paste it. And we also need to keep track of Bob's current health, right? So if at the beginning of the game, of course, these two are equal, and any time that Bob has 100% health, these are going to be equal. But let's say a goon hits Bob for 2 points. Now current health is going to be 8, and max health will still be 10. Alright, so we need that. Then we also need to go to our health container, and we need to keep track of the max width of our of our health bar here. So let's go to global variables, value of global variable, and let's make a new variable here called menus.health bar max width. And right now our health bar max width is 100 pixels. Okay, this is in pixels. But by making this into a variable, you could, if you wanted to, you could do that sort of God of War effect where you grow the health bar. You can do that by making this into a variable. If you want to go that route, you're also going to have to grow your health container as well. So I'm not going to really use this, but we'll put it in as an option. We'll say menus.health container max width, and the max width here is going to be 10 pixels more because it's 5 pixels on each side. So that's going to be 110. Alright. So now we've got some key bits of information here. Let's go to our actual battle. So when Bob's in collision with the goon, right, obviously he's going to take damage just from touching the goon here. So let's go down to the next level and let's go ahead and initiate some damage. And we're going to do that through bobstats.current health is going to be, we're going to subtract from that global variable goons.damage. Now the current health is going to be different from the max health of Bob. And now we need a way to actually update our health bar. So let's go to Health Bar Manager and let's see what we're doing here. Well, this creates the health bar actually. Let's add a new event underneath it. And we're going to use a trigger variable for this as well, just because, again, we don't need code running all the time. So let's go back to our load game, and let's create a trigger variable. We'll put it in our health container. And this is going to be a global variable, and it's going to be menus.healthBarUpdate. And we'll set that equal to 0. As in it's false, it's not running at all. And now we'll go back to our Health Bar Manager external event. And let's get our trigger variable here. We'll say menus.healthBarUpdate. When that equals 1, we're going to do whatever's in here. Let's add 2 sub-events, because we know when we have a way in, we need to at least think about some way out, right? Let's close up this little event section here by saying menus.healthBarUpdate equals 0. Okay. Alright, now we're going to do some math in here, but let's first see if we ever actually triggered this in our goon battle. We have not. So we need to now trigger this here. So let's add our global variable. Let's alter menus.healthBarUpdate equals to 1. Actually, I don't want to do this in here. I want to separate this out because it's likely that this is going to grow here, right? We might give the goon a weapon, and that weapon is going to do damage differently than the other ones. So let's cut that out and let's put it actually down in its own little condition window here. All right, math time. Let's think about this for a second. The way our math excuse me, is going to work is we're going to take, well, let's just do it by example. So right now, Bob has a max health of 10. His current health is also 10 because nothing has happened. But let's say the goon hits Bob for 2 points. So now we've got 10 minus 2 equals 8. Bob's current health is now 8. If we take our current health and we divide it by Bob's max health, which right now is 10, we get 0.8. If we times that by the max width of our HP bar, which right now is 100, we get the difference between what our HP bar or health bar is now in terms of the width, which is our new width should be 80, and our old width is 100. So now we're going to alter our HP or health bar to a pixel width of 80 instead of 100. Okay, let's do that again really quickly. The formula here is current health, which is 8 because he took 2 points of hit he took a 2-point damage. 8 divided by the max health currently, which is 10, times the max width of our health bar. Okay? And you can keep this formula even if you adjust the health bar as well. So that's why this formula is sort of important here. Let's go ahead and put it into practice. We're going to say sprite size width. Okay, choose an object. We need the health bar. We want to set the health bar equal to our formula. Let's go ahead and put an open parenthesis. And let's do global variable, another parenthesis, open. We need Bob stats dot current health, close one parenthesis, divided by global variable, parenthesis, Bob stats dot max health, close parenthesis. I think I need another one here. Let's see, we got 1 facing 2, 3, 4. And from on the other way, we've got 1, just 2. We need 1 set for this entire thing. And then we need 1 here, 1 here. Okay, there we go. So current health minus divided by max health. And here's why we created that variable before, the global variable menus dot health bar max width. Okay. All right. Well, let's see how we did. Let's go ahead and run a preview. Somehow it altered this. We'll have to run a cleanup at some point for that. Ready? Let's see. Whoop! Look at that. Bob's dead. And why is Bob dead so fast? Because he only has 10 HPs. And remember, this checks to see anytime you're in collision with this, it starts running this code. Right? And it runs this code very quickly. So it's like -1, -1, -1, -1, dead. That's why we can think about using modifiers here, right? So you don't necessarily, if we look at load game again, and we go down to our enemy NPCs here, you don't necessarily want to change the base damage of your enemy NPCs. You want to just kind of use modifiers to sort of change this. Here's what I mean. We can do, in our goon battle here, for when Bob's in collision with the goon, we can modify this damage a little bit by simply saying goons.damage times 0.1. And you could make a variable for this, actually. You could say collision damage should always be modified by 0.1, right? You could do that. Let's see how much that alters it, right? Because it would be pretty unfair for the user to just die that quickly, although there are a lot of games. I remember a lot of NES games where that was the case. And if that's what you want to do, then by all means you can do that. Let's see how this works. All right, we're about to be in collision. Look at that. See? That's much more fair, I think. It's a fairer kind of amount of damage. All right. Well, Bob's taking damage. When we come back, you know, we've got more work to do here on this to set this up.